Despite how much fun I and most of the community are having with Battlefield 6, there are problems with the game that the developers need to address. Whilst Battlefield 6 has potential to be great, the issues this video will explore may hold the game back from being an all-time classic. The first issue is the map design, specifically that the maps are small and choke point heavy. Maps in previous games would have large mixtures of open areas and tight areas, which offered the player a risk-reward dynamic for taking one route over the other. However, even with Liberation Peak, the most open map in the beta, the game still feels constrained, funneling players through specific routes. Now, in other games with longer time scale like hero shooters, players being forced down a funnel is okay, as they would have the shields and healing to push through. However, with the TTK being relatively fast, it turns a lot of matches into meat grinder sections. Now, if it was one-off like Operation Locker or Operation Metro, that would be okay, as it's a one-off, and to be honest, it's a lot of fun. But the maps here have a lot of areas where it feels like a complete mess. You're constantly being shot at from all angles with no room to breathe. Fascist! The Siege of Cairo map is a good example. Going to C flag feels incredibly claustrophobic, as from the NATO and Pax Armata sides of the map, there are tight pathways towards the C flag. The tight pathing contributes towards the chaos and unrelenting nature that fighting for seal can feel. Number 2, the class system is kind of janky. The assault class has minimal identity in the game, which can be explained by the fact that the injector does not provide health. DICE stated that they wanted to make the assault more of a team player. However, the main thing assault provides is, well, assault. However, to facilitate being the front man of the team, they need a way to sustain themselves. However, the stim injector does not do that. They're trying to remedy this by giving them the spawn beacon, and the fact that their signature weapon is the assault rifle also gives them an assist, but they still have an identity crisis. Restoring the ability for the stim injector to provide health will be a good start in the right direction for the class that is meant to take more damage but deal it as well. In contrast, the support class is the best class as they provide health and ammo. This makes them invaluable as they can support both the squad and themselves, and are particularly well suited for sustaining the team in long-term firefights. The issue likely stems from the fact that they reverted to the four-class system of Assault, Engineer, Support and Recon, and transferred the healing role from Assault to the Support. This gives Support a level of power that's almost egregious, as they can heal, supply ammo and gadget ammo, so they are the only ones who can provide long-term support to the team. Issue 3, Visibility or lack thereof. Despite the well-created and animated particle effects, building instruction and graphics the game has to offer, DICE may have taken it too far. The issue with games which try to imitate reality is that everything blends in, which in turn makes target acquisition difficult. Games like Fortnite and Marvel Rivals don't have the issue due to those games being animated, and especially in the case of Rivals, stylized, which makes target acquisition relatively easy. Battlefield 6 and COD, well, until recently, would have the issue of soldiers blending into everything, as you would have a soldier who is wearing greys and browns being in front of a building that is also grey or brown.
Oh, okay.
To fix this issue, an orange diamond appears on top of the enemy's head, which is the 3D spotting system. All you need to do is point your reticle for a second and the orange diamond appears. This makes traversing the map, being stealthy, being slow and considerate of your movement hard, as the opponent does not need much effort to spot you. This is one of the things DICE needs to find the sweet spot on how long you need to point your gun at the enemy for the 3D spot to work. Otherwise, being stealthy and slow with your movement will be difficult. This is especially harrowing, as it would make using a defibrillator and blowtorch as a weapon nearly impossible, as you would stick out like a sore thumb. However, despite everything I just said, this game is still a lot of fun to play. The issues I stated above aren't the end of the world, and the game is still functional. Many of these issues can be resolved with a few patches or additional content. For example, the tight maps can be counteracted with larger maps that have more open spaces, allowing for more breathing space. The stim injector for Assault can be changed to provide health and so on. The foundation and base of the game remains solid. The game's functions, the gunplay is still silky smooth, and the moment-to-moment gameplay still has a good mixture of speed and strategy. Let's just hope that DICE can iron out the issues come release day. But remember, no pre-orders. This is Zach, not Zach, signing off. Please remember to like, favorite and subscribe.